Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 89. We're here in Southwest Florida waiting on the sun to rise in the east over the trees and the buildings. And this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. As you can see, it's a bit of a stormy day today. I started a little bit late today because it's been raining and I was hoping to not need our Plan B pavilion for rain days. And it looks like it's going to stay dry for us now. Can't actually knit and crochet and play with yarn in the rain, so glad it's going to stay dry now for us. If you're joining me live this morning or later on in the recorded version, please introduce yourself, say hi, and tell me what you're crafting with today. I have a couple of projects with me this morning. The first one is my shrug that is almost done. As you can see, it's actually a lot more like a shawl right now because it's just a simple rectangle. But when I'm done, I'll be adding narrower cuffs to both of the short ends and sewing up, let's say to there. So it'll be open through the body and then there'll be a sleeve like that. So it'll go across my back and come across as a sleeve like that. Kind of hard to imagine right now, but it will be beautiful when it's done. And this is in my Be So Sporty Yarn Bling collection, which has a thread of pure silver threaded through the yarn, and it's hand dyed in the Yarn on the Beach colorway, which represents the sunrise that we normally see here most mornings on Yarn on the Beach. Today, not so much. We have a really beautiful gray and blue and steel and almost a sage green out there with some white. Really pretty colorway as well, but a little bit different. Good morning, Judy. Thanks for joining. So it's not our normal color palette, but it's also a beautiful color palette this morning. The waves are nice and loud, which is fun too. Good morning, Mar. Thanks for joining. So the stitch pattern for this project is also very easy. It's an alternating bands of stockinette and reverse stockinette. So it's 5 rows of stockinette and then 5 rows of reverse stockinette, which is just plain rows of knitting and crochet. Could not be simpler. Good morning, Harini. Thanks for joining. After I finish this row, I'll show you a couple other projects I'm working on this morning. I'll be staying out of the house, from the beach. I'm going to not go back home before picking Marlin up today because it's a half day of tennis. So I brought lots of yarn with me to keep me nice and productive. Good morning, Susie, to keep me nice and productive for the next few hours before picking him up. Good morning, Millie. Thanks for joining. We have quite a few birds hanging out this morning, and we have a lot of people too. It's pretty mild weather. It's gloomy, but it's not cold this morning. I think it might even be 70 degrees already. Harini, no, I'm not knitting a shawl. This could very easily be a shawl because it's a big rectangle, but I'm going to sew up a little bit of both of the ends like that, and I'm turning it into a shrug with beautiful drapey sleeves. It's a free pattern already on my website called the Benita Knit Shrug, and if you go to the search bar on my website, you can easily find the free pattern. It uses 2 balls of Be So Sporty yarn. Good morning, Lily. Is it cold in New York? Well, I hope you're staying indoors and warm and toasty. If anybody else is crafting this morning, please tell me what you're working on. Good morning, Audrey. Thanks for joining. Don't the waves sound beautiful? Got some rollers coming in too. Not big ones, but they still sound good. Oh, Lily, you received your yarn yesterday. Wonderful. Karini's working on a mitered square blanket. That's great. Those are fun types of projects. I like projects where you do small components and they add on and grow. It makes you feel like you're working quicker than other types of construction. It's a fun change of pace. Lily hasn't decided what to make with her yarn yet. Something will speak to you. You'll figure it out. If you don't force it, you let things figure themselves out. They always do. Good morning, Carol. Thanks for joining. At least creativity speaking, that is. I'm drinking ginger peach green tea today. Let's see, and I brought some extra projects to show this morning. I'm working on Mar, I missed your comment. Lily's looking at all my patterns on my website. We'll try to focus on a genre then, because there's that categorizing page. Like if you go to the free pattern page on my website, there's all different types of categories. And if you can narrow it down to a category, maybe the type of yarn or the type of project, maybe you can narrow it down a little bit and it won't be so overwhelming. If you have any questions or need help, by all means let me know. Okay, so I didn't bring the third project from this series, but I'm doing the same stitch pattern, good morning Faye, in crochet in at least three different ways. Haven't decided if there's going to be a fourth way. So the first project, which I'm sorry I forgot to bring this morning, is a cardigan done with a square motif. Karini, I knit the English way, I don't knit continental. Although there's no wrong way to knit, however anybody knits is perfectly okay in my book. So the motif is a square motif, and then I manipulate it into a triangle motif so that you can get shaping in the cardigan within the motifs, and it's turning out really beautiful. So then I decided to deconstruct it further and take that triangle motif and manipulate it into a growing triangle motif with repeats. So it's going to become a triangle shawl. So this would be a variation on the triangle motif of the triangle and square cardigan. And then as a variation on the square motif, I'm doing a top-down increasing raglan top that's a variation on the square motif with the increases in four corners and growing. So in the motifs, they only get so big. So in order to make them other types of projects, you have to understand, well, as a designer, you have to look at how it increases in that square and figure out what can become a repeating increase. So once I figured that out for the corner in the shawl, I knew that corner would work for the raglans, but to go even a step further for a top-down triangle, you have to figure out the increase for both ends too, which is never the same as the corner. So this has two variations from the triangle with a slower increase on the edges and a double increase in the corner. So now that that repeating pattern is established, this could grow as big as I wanted it. This is done in Be So Sporty yarn in the new hand-dyed colorway called Trailblazer. And the top-down raglan, I'm thinking it's going to be a tank top, but it could also end up being a long sleeve pullover, and it could be modified to be both. This is done in Be So Bold yarn in the new hand-dyed colorway called Snorkeling in Key West. Looks like that's turning up real nice on camera. A nice compliment to the sky behind us too. This is a lot more blue than the palette in Nature this morning, but very complimentary. I think it's going to be really pretty on. So those are my three projects that I'm working on this morning. Good morning, Monica. Thanks for joining me. I'm really excited to finish this one though, because it's so close to the finish line now that I'm anxious to finish it up and get to wear it. Thank you, Lily. Judy's going to make the Madeline or mesh berry top. I'm trying to catch all of it. As a beach cover-up for her daughter in Be So Fine yarn bling. That will be really pretty. Very nice. Oh, well, that's another project I have with me. I have Be So Fine yarn bling with me as well, and I'm making a vest out of this one, and it's almost done. Can you see the silver thread in there? A little bit of sparkle, just a little bit. That's going to be really pretty when it's done. So I've got 4 projects to keep me busy until Marlon's done today. There's no possible way he could go long enough that I could finish all of them, so I know I'll stay busy. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Lily. No, Lily, not sunny at all. Yes, Monica, it's been raining on and off, and it's supposed to rain all day. So hopefully it stays dry while we're down here. If not, we'll go to Plan B on the covered pavilion. Good morning, Sandy. Thanks for joining me, or joining us. And I missed another comment. I'm sorry. They all came in at the same time. Whoa, did that pelican show up on camera? There's a pelican that just dove right in for his breakfast. Oh, Mara, that's going to be pretty. The celebration poncho will be really pretty in Moonstone. Moonstone is a colorway that's very similar to the stormy sunrise we have today. Oh, somebody the other day asked me to do a close-up of the knit and purl stitches that I'm doing for this project. So let's see if I can get the camera nice and close. Right now I'm doing a purl row. So we're inserting our needle through the front of the work, inserting from right to left, wrapping the yarn around the needle and pulling through. And this is the purl stitch. If you're a continental knitter, that means you hold your yarn in your left hand. And if you're an English knitter, it means you hold your yarn in your right hand. And if you're any hybrid in between, you could hold your yarn in any number of ways. And like I said before, and like I always say, there is no right or wrong way to hold your yarn in knitting and crochet. It's all about personal preference. Sure, there are people that are advocates for all different ways, but just so you know, there is no wrong way to do it. Okay, then we get to the next row, I'll show you the knit stitch. Good morning.
What you doing nice?
Yeah.
What you nice doing?
I'm making a sweater.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you. You noticed that I had trouble holding my tension, and that's only because I was holding up the body of the work higher. Oh, Harini wants to know how I learned to knit and crochet. I taught myself how to knit and crochet when I was living in a foreign country, pregnant with my son, and just trying to find some way to feel homey. and feel connected to my son who wasn't born yet, and to try to feel some comfort in a scary time in my life. And so I taught myself how to knit and crochet to make baby stuff while I was pregnant. And I learned how to knit and crochet a week apart. I started making a crochet booty the first week, and I was working on a knit sweater the next week. Okay, so now, good morning, Maria. Thanks for joining. Okay. So yeah, so why my tension might have looked a little funny is because I was holding up the body of the work much higher than the body of the work is sitting in my lap, so gravity was kind of not being a good friend. So, okay, let's see, are we in camera? Yep, so I'm ready to start knitting now. So I'm going to knit with the yarn in the back now and insert my needle from the front to the back, wrap the yarn around my needle, and pull through. I have tutorial videos on all kinds of knit stitches and crochet stitches. You can find all of them on my YouTube channel in playlists for my encyclopedia, or I think it's called a library of crochet stitches and library of knitting stitches. You can also find them cataloged on 2 pages on my website, a how to knit page and a how to crochet page. I have tons of tutorial videos with right hand, left hand, and slow motion of each stitch. So if you're looking to learn a new stitch, it's a great way to get started. See, maybe this is just too hot. The sun's finally out. That's nice. I guess maybe it's not going to rain after all. Good. It's supposed to rain later today. I promised my friend that I'd be the photographer for her mom's 80th birthday party tonight out on Sanibel Island, and we have rain expected, which is not going to be good for an outdoor party or for photography, so fingers crossed that that works out well. We'll see. It'll still be fun anyway. Oh gosh, I missed some comments, so sorry. I start looking down at my work and I forget to look up at the camera. Good thing they get saved now. We can go back and read them. I still don't know how to do that yet, but other people have said they've been able to, that the live comments are captured. If anybody comments on the recording, I always reply to those, but I haven't been able to find the live ones yet. But so glad we get to have them while we're live. But for anybody that watches in the recording, I try to keep it still special for them too by replying to all of those comments. Sandy, you love cloudy days at the beach. I love all days at the beach too. I don't think there's a bad day at the beach. I even like rainy days down here. Not with yarn, but as long as my yarn's safe and I don't bring it or whatever, I don't mind rainy days at the beach either. I love them all. They're all special and unique. Oh, what don't I do? I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of things that I don't do. Lily, yes, it is so relaxing. Oh, look at all the birds joining us now. They're not joining us. They're a little far off. But notice how there's all different types of birds too. It's not like they just hang out with their own kind. I love the fact that there are different breeds of birds that all hang out together. It really is a really nice hidden message to that. I love that. I love how they hang out together, even though they're not the same. Really cute. Oh, I missed comments again. Wow, they're going quick for me today. Okay, I'm gonna look at the camera now. Got birds circling us. They're curious to know what we're doing. So cute. Oh, these little guys are sniffing the seaweed. I don't think they're going to eat it though. Hard to say. No, they're just curious. Ah, I missed Maria's comment. Yes, Monica, the waves are absolutely mesmerizing today. I agree. Yeah, we've got a light group this morning, Faye. I'm guessing it's because of the holiday weekend. Totally understandable. I miss them too. Oh, more birds arrived. Angelina's making oh, a sun worshiper before a sun worshiper. That's cute, with a play on words with S-U-N-S-O-N. I grew up spending a lot of time at the beach too. Thank you, Angelina. Happy Easter to you too. Tomorrow morning they do one of the local churches does a sunrise service at the beach. It's really pretty. I won't be here because we don't do Yarn on the Beach on Sunday anyway, so I won't get to show you. Oh, hey, Joan, you figured it out. Wonderful. Good for you. Welcome. Glad to have you. Joan is one of the members of my knitting and crochet club on Tuesday nights, and we were troubleshooting how she could get to join the comments on YouTube live for Yarn on the Beach, and it worked. Yay. Very good. Thank you, Angelina. I love doing my braids. The more I do it, the better I'm getting at it. I don't even really look anymore, which is amazing considering a few months ago I had no idea what I was doing at all. But see, you practice and you get better. Wow, I think we're getting close to being able to measure this now. Look at the size of this. This is plenty big for a shrug. I mean, it certainly looks like it'll come to my elbow on that side and my elbow on that side. Yeah, I bet a lot of beaches do sunrise service on Easter. I just happen to know that this beach does one. I've never been to Destin before. I've heard it's really pretty. That's quite a ways north of here, but still on the west. Yeah, it is a good size lily, so I think I'm going to hold off now on going any further until I measure and make sure that it's big enough, because I want to start the ribbing and get finished. I'm excited to finish it. So I'll hold off. Angelina says hello to everybody in chat this morning. That's sweet of you. Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up. So let's take a minute here to look out on this beautiful stormy morning and enjoy the sound of those incredible waves. Set our intentions for this beautiful weekend. Thank you all for taking time out of your Saturday to spend some time with me. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. If you like Yarn on the Beach podcast, please click the thumbs up button, share them with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you Monday. Bye.